It's 2:46 a.m., high in the fog-drowned mountains of Vale Escuro. Radio host Rafael Mota sits alone inside a wooden cabin. A cabin that once echoed with life, but now it's just him and the signal. The walls are a mosaic of faded posters and yellowed clippings from decades past, all reminders of a time when Radio Aurora was the voice of the valley. But tonight is different. Tonight is its last transmission. The old generator rumbles under the floorboards, and every flicker of light makes the shadows shift and writhe. Outside, the rain whispers against the roof like fingers tapping, asking to be let in. Raphael adjusts his microphone, clears his throat, and forces a nervous smile. Good morning, listeners. This is the final broadcast of Aurora. After 40 years on air, we say goodbye. He tries to sound calm, but his voice trembles with fatigue and something else, a quiet fear he doesn't want to name. The silence that follows feels heavier than any sound. Then the phone rings, a sharp, unnatural sound that makes him jump. He wasn't expecting a call. The phone line hasn't been active in years. Vimera, good evening, he says, forcing a laugh. For a moment, there's nothing. Just a crackle of static, then a hoarse, broken voice speaks. You need to leave, now. Raphael frowns. Sorry, who is this? I've been in that cabin before, a voice says, distant and metallic, as if soaked in interference. And I know what happens. At 3:17 a.m., the line goes dead. The silence that follows isn't empty anymore. It feels like it's listening back. Raphael tries to dismiss it. A prank, maybe? Someone from town who knew it was the station's last day. But a cold dread stirs inside him, a memory of an article, a headline long forgotten. Radio host Carlos Menezes found dead after broadcast fire minus 1,999. He was the announcer before Raphael, and he died in this very cabin. The lights flicker. The air seems to thicken. He glances at the clock. 2:57, still plenty of time. To calm himself, Raphael puts on a song, a smooth jazz record from the 70s. But halfway through, the music begins to slow. The notes stretch and warp until the melody twists into a low, distorted voice whispering just beneath the static. He leans closer. Don't look out the window, the record snaps. The needle scratches a deep groove into the vinyl. He freezes. Someone is outside. Through the rain-streaked glass, he sees movement, a figure standing near the antenna pole. There's no flashlight. No reflection of eyes, just the dark outline of a man, motionless, watching him. Raphael instinctively turns off the lamp, plunging the cabin into darkness, save for the eerie red glow of the on-air sign. The figure vanishes, or maybe it just moved closer. Suddenly, the radio system reboots itself. Static floods the room, and then, without him touching a single dial, a voice plays through the speakers. Good morning, Aurora listeners, if you're hearing this. The cycle has begun again. Raphael's blood runs cold. That voice. He frantically searches the cabinet for the reel and finds it, the label reading, Carlos Menezes, November 3rd, 1999. His breath quickens. That was the night Menezes died. He slams the pause button, but the tape keeps spinning. The computer screen, dark until now, flickers to life. A chat window opens and messages begin pouring in. Get out of there. He's coming through the static. Don't look at your reflection. And then a single time, 3:17. Raphael tries to close the window, but it won't respond. Thousands of messages flood the screen, an avalanche of text. He unplugs the modem, but the messages keep coming. He notices every name in the chat has a date next to it, and every date matches the night a Radio Aurora announcer had died. The phone rings again. This time, the voice is softer, broken. He's here. Don't turn off the transmitter. He speaks. Through the signal. Who are you? Raphael shouts, his voice cracking. You already know my name. And in that horrifying moment, he does. The voice isn't someone else's. It's his own, warped and distant, like a recording played backward. Rafael looks up at the glass window that separates the booth from the rest of the cabin. His reflection is there, but it isn't moving with him. The reflection raises its hand first, then it smiles. A hairline crack spreads across the glass. A whisper escapes from inside it, muffled, almost tender. You're late. The light above flickers violently. The air turns bitingly cold. He lunges for the door. It's locked. He slams his shoulder against it, but it won't budge. The generator roars beneath the floor, and the walls themselves seem to pulse with the sound of static. His reflection leans closer to the glass. You've already done this before? The clock ticks slowly, agonizingly. 3:16. Every sound in the cabin bends and warps. The walls seem to breathe. And then 3:17. The light bulb explodes. The power surges. The radio goes live again, automatically. A new broadcast begins to play. His voice, calm, composed, and impossibly distant, fills the airwaves. Good morning, Aurora listeners. If you're hearing this, the cycle has begun again. Rafael stumbles backward. He hadn't said those words. Not yet. His reflection opens its mouth, and its voice echoes in his mind. You will. Darkness consumes the room. The next morning, hikers find the cabin. The outside is perfectly fine. Inside, everything is scorched black. There is no body. The microphone is still warm. The recorder is still spinning. On the final tape, Raphael's voice speaks slowly, calmly, as if nothing had happened. Good morning, Aurora listeners. If you are hearing this, the cycle has begun again. Then, after a pause, a faint breath, a woman's voice whispers, whoever listens becomes the next announcer. 2 weeks later, the scorched equipment is moved to a government storage facility. The technicians are told to dismantle it. But one night, the security guard on duty hears a sound. From a dark corner of the warehouse, the red, on-air light flickers to life. A low hum fills the air. Then a man's voice, smooth, deep, and chillingly familiar, cuts through the silence. Good morning, Aurora listeners. The guard freezes. He looks toward the sound. The tape deck is spinning, but no power cables are connected. The voice continues, its tone almost hypnotic. If you are hearing this, it's already too late. The next morning, the guard's shift sheet is empty. He is gone, but on the table near the haunted radio, there is a new reel of tape. Its label, written in fresh ink, reads, Cycle 13, in progress. Unscratched into the wood beneath it are 4 final words. The signal never dies. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Tales from the Shadows. Stay safe out there.